Welcome to the 20-Minute Gamer channel. I'm your host, Nick, and we're back with another in the Content Creator Showcase. Now, this channel I stumbled across while I was looking at some Endless Dungeon content. If you haven't checked out Endless Dungeon yet, please give it a look. It is a great co-op roguelite with tower defense and RPG elements thrown in the middle. I've streamed a couple of episodes. I've dropped a couple of reviews on it, and it really is just a fantastic title. Now, Foxxy's Den has covered multiple games, and he'll tell you here he's only about 3 weeks old, so there aren't that many titles, but there's a lot coming from the channel. His audio is crisp. He's covering a lot of titles that may have slipped through the cracks, maybe titles that you would not have found on your own, and he's got a passion for this. He has an energy that is very refreshing to see. Now, opening up my conversation with Foxxy, he did ask why I'm doing the content creator showcases. I've got 1,200, 1,300 subscribers. You know, I could be kind of sticking to my own piece, doing my own thing, and not worrying about what anyone else is doing. And I guess I'll kind of answer that real quick if you've got another minute of your time. You know, the reason I'm doing this is because I've always wanted to have a channel that I could collaborate with others on. And yes, this is my channel. And yes, I could kind of do my own thing and not worry about anyone else. But I remember how hard it was when I had 40 subscribers, 100 subscribers, 300 subscribers, just trying to get through and cut through all the noise of all the other channels that were out there. No one was looking out for me. Now, the reality is, it's your own channel, and nobody has to look out for you, but that doesn't mean that other people can't. I want this to be a channel for good. I want this to be a channel that demonstrates the best in people, okay? That's just the kind of person that I am. That's what I want to do. My interest in doing this does spur from a bad place. It does spur from an attempt to collab with another YouTuber some time ago, and I was basically just given a big middle finger, and they didn't want to work with me, and that's fine. I mean, that is fine. I mean, that's their prerogative. They're not obligated to do so. But if anyone ever wanted to do a collaboration with me, I don't care if you have 5 subscribers. I don't care if you have 5 million subscribers. Be happy to. I would absolutely be happy to do a collaboration with anybody. I want to look out for the little guys. There's a lot of great talent out there. There's a lot of people putting out fantastic content, and I want to help because I have a little bit of a bigger footprint than they may have. And that's really all this is. I just want to help. I just want to help people. Just want to help people get seen, and I want to help the positivity of their channel and their message get seen. So, mushy parts aside, let's go ahead and get into it. If you haven't checked it out, Foxxy's Den, details are in the description. This is all for you, buddy. Let's go. Let's get into introductions. All right, so introductions. We are here with Foxxy's Den, another wonderful channel that we found on YouTube. Foxxy, tell me a little bit about your channel and what you're bringing to the subscribers here.
Hey, thank you. I'm Foxxy. My channel right now is a lot of things because I just recently started creating content about 3 weeks ago. But to put it simply, it's just a gaming channel where I mainly play indie games and new releases. Not a whole lot of AAA titles or anything like that, but just think of it as a place to go to discover new games that may have ended up going under the radar or just older games that are forgotten. But that's kind of what my channel is right now and the direction it's heading.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, where are you generally located? Do you have like a schedule as far as when you upload? Like, what sort of time zone can people expect to kind of see your videos hit YouTube?
Yeah. So I'm located in the northeastern United States, up in New England, which puts me in the Eastern Standard Time. As far as time frame goes and stuff, I'm usually posting late afternoon or into the evening, several times per week, oftentimes more. I don't have a schedule or anything like that set in stone because I'm just still trying to figure out my bearings and stuff. Again, this whole YouTube is new to me, so I'm just kind of figuring out where I belong in the whole mess of YouTube.
When did you decide that? I mean, I know you say you're really kind of only about 3 weeks old. when did you kind of decide that you wanted to start uploading into YouTube? What was the catalyst for you that's like, you know what, like I want to do a little bit more. I'm playing these games. What was it for you that was kind of like the nail in the coffin? You know, this is going to happen. This is the experience that's driving that decision.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of funny how I ended up on YouTube. I've always been a gamer, but never thought of myself as a content creator, and never thought I would make or upload content. I never really had a moment where the light bulb just went on and I was like, I need to do this. It all started like 3 weeks ago. I was playing around with some editing software for the very first time, mind you, and it was a huge learning curve. But I enjoyed it. Now, my brother, he's a streamer, and I just wanted to make a video and edit it and show him that, like, hey, if you put this on YouTube, it could help grow your Twitch. And in order to show him that, that's exactly what I did. I just uploaded a YouTube short of a game I was playing, just making it something more enjoyable to watch. And that was supposed to be it for my channel. That's all my channel was meant to be. That's all it was supposed to be. And for whatever reason, after uploading it, YouTube really liked the video. And
Nice.
I got hooked on the numbers and analyzing and the analytics. And then I just started consistently making content myself. It kind of just started out of nowhere overnight, really.
Do you have a genre that you find yourself gravitating towards, or do you see yourself landing? I know you say you're kind of playing games that, you know, maybe are lesser known or forgotten titles, but do you find like a particular genre? You know, are you roguelite? Are you RPG focused? Is there a specific genre of game type that you find yourself maybe hunting down more of?
You know, when I first started the channel, and again, you know, it's super new. I thought I had a genre. You know, I was thinking, you know, roguelike, indie games, stuff like that. But as I'm getting into it and getting a little deeper, I really don't. I'm finding myself enjoying a lot of indie games, sure, a lot of roguelites, sure. But there's some new releases and stuff that I just love that don't fit into either one of those. And sure, I could say I love roguelites, I love indie games, I love new releases. I like RTS games, but I just have so many different genres on my channel. It's really just what comes out is what direction I'm going in right now. Or just older games that maybe had an update or that no one's heard or seen about for a while that I just think should get a little more views, in my opinion. But yeah, right now, no, I did think that I had a genre down, but right now I don't.
Well, I mean, there's definitely a nice spread. So for any of you that haven't checked out his channel, or maybe you're looking right now, I mean, he's got, he has your RPGs, he has roguelites, he's got auto battlers. I mean, so he really does have a nice, I gotta say, I mean, as far as like what I've watched of your channel, there is a nice spread. So, I really feels like you are going to appeal to a lot of different gamers, and I'm seeing you covering games that I'm interested in that I don't even have any information in. One of them is this, one of your first videos that you posted, this Rogue Genesia. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but
no, you are.
It's like it's like FTL meets Vampire Survivors, right? You kind of have different avenues that you go down, and I mean, is there any one game that you've found yourself being a little bit more engaged with on your channel that people may be able to get a better spectrum of what you bring? Or
so just to kind of put it a little more simply, you know, I've got impressions, quick rundowns of games. I've got a video that just takes you through some of my fun journeys I've had in a particular game.
Mm-hmm.
And really, if something sticks, I'll do a mini series. For example, one of my videos that I personally really like is on a game called Bloodline. It was just a journey from point A to point B as a new player, just having fun, not, you know, min-maxing everything, trying to be the best at it. And that's just a little indie game made by one person that I thought was really interesting. And sure, I've got like a quick rundown of games like Endless Dungeon and stuff like that, or Dome Keeper, it's a sci-fi roguelike. But I am kind of all over the board with it. But Bloodline is a good place to start if you want to see what my channel has to offer.
Are you purely a PC player, or do you capitalize on any console games or anything like that?
I am purely PC as far as content goes. In in my personal life and stuff, I'll play PlayStation or Xbox and whatnot here and there. As far as content goes, it's going to be just PC.
Okay. All right. Any what's your what's your favorite exclusive title between Xbox and PlayStation?
Oh, like on each side?
On each side.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Times have changed. Times have changed. Halo was a solid back then. It's not now. I'm a huge fan of The Last of Us. It's always going to be a part of me. I love The Last of Us. I loved it on PlayStation 3, love it on PS4, PS5. Love it. As far as Xbox goes, Days Gone, that's a good title too, but Last of Us is gonna be placed above that right there. Now as far as Xbox goes, I used to love Gears of War. I really did. I haven't heard a whole lot about Gears in quite some time. But I'm gonna have to say Gears of War or Halo on that.
Yeah, I tell you, I've been a PlayStation fanboy for the majority of my life. I've only had an Xbox once in my life, and it was an original Xbox.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so I definitely kind of have to lean on Halo as far as my favorites. But my all-time favorite game, okay, well, so I guess it's kind of a tie. I really, really loved the first Metal Gear Solid, and then I really loved Metal Gear Solid 4. I thought Metal Gear Solid 4 was like the best ending for Snake. So I haven't played any Metal Gear past Metal Gear 4, but man, like I invested weeks into Metal Gear Solid 4 when it came out.
It was a good game.
Gotta be one of my favorite PlayStation titles.
Yeah.
That and Killzone. I know Killzone didn't grab on Steam, but oh my gosh, man.
Yes, Killzone.
They called it a Halo killer, and they're like, is it really? Like, yes, it absolutely is. Like, Killzone was so good, man.
Killzone is underrated. A good game.
Definitely underrated.
As far as Xbox goes, I take back everything I said about Xbox. Original Xbox, grabbed by the ghoulies, hands down the best title on the system. I forgot it existed. I just now thought of it. It's made by, I think, a company called Rare or something. Grabbed by the Ghoulies. Grabbed by the Ghoulies.
Grabbed by the Ghoulies?
Yes.
I've never heard
original
of that.
Xbox. No, most people probably haven't, but it is my favorite Xbox game that you've never heard of.
Well, that's right. It's my favorite Xbox game you've never heard of. I've never heard of. I mean, I don't consider myself an Xbox aficionado at all by any means.
Oh, I'm not either. I'm not either. No, my heart's with PlayStation.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, I think everyone is a PlayStation fan. I just think that they think it's a faux pas for them to say that they are. Because I know a lot of people that are like, you know what, like when I think about it, my favorite gaming platform was PlayStation. Like, then why do you have an Xbox, Series X or whatever? Well, yeah, that's what I thought.
Right, calling them out on it.
And what do you want to grow into? Like what's your end game? Where do you see it? Like, have you planned out? Are you just kind of running by seat of your pants right now, or have you actually like thought about and planned out like a 3-year, 5-year, 10-year?
Well, I definitely haven't done 3-year, 5-year, 10-year. But I mean, I've put a little bit of thought into it. I've just been taking everything one step at a time, day by day, week by week. With no unrealistic expectations at the moment, but right now my goal is hit 100 subscribers, continue to grow my channel into what I'm hoping is going to be a small community, and just be a place where someone can relax and wind down at the end of a day, just to hang out or maybe discover a new game they never knew existed, because that's exactly what YouTube is for me when I watch it.
Yeah.
So I'm just starting small right now. We'll go from there and see what happens, really.
What YouTubers or gamers have you grabbed inspiration from? I mean, is there anyone who has a platform that you felt maybe even complemented your own? I mean, someone that you thought, gosh, I love what this guy does. I feel like it could work for me. Obviously building a channel isn't just about bringing something new, but also bringing something familiar. Being able to see, like just kind of taking Splattercat, for example, like I do love that guy. I love I love how he's kind of turned himself away from just bringing any old title and doing playthroughs, and Now he really kind of concentrates on those indie titles, on YouTube. But is there anybody that you kind of have watched over the years and you're like, gosh, this guy, like, love what he does. I feel like, we kind of push the same sort of content. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's the question. Who have you grabbed inspiration from?
Yeah, first of all, I love your admiration for Splattercat because he is awesome, and he's just a real wholesome guy.
Absolutely, dude. He is just really, really laid back, and I think that's kind of what I love about him. He has that personality for YouTube. I've been watching him for probably like 10 plus years since he was doing DayZ stuff.
Yeah, I don't even know how many years I've been watching him, but it's been some time now. But I watch a lot of different YouTubers, and a lot of them have very different personalities and make very different content from what I do. But I try to take away something from them, whether it's, maybe an editing style or just how they're covering something. But I've watched a lot of Omewrecker, H2O Delirious, Cage848, Fooster. There's another guy called Chromulant Archer. He does a lot of Project Zomboid stuff. He's a really cool guy. But most of all, I think what I took out of that is just after pushing content out of my own, it really gave me an appreciation for what those guys do every day.
Right.
And it put things in perspective for me. But yeah, I just try to take away a little something from each channel that I'm watching now that I have an understanding of what really goes into content creation. Whether it's like, I love Splattercats. I love the way he pushes out, not the way he pushes out content, the way he kind of has it organized and just methodical, and how you can sit down and not know anything about a game and walk away having an understanding of whether it's something you want or not for you.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's a great way of phrasing it.
And I admire that. Again, he's very different than I am, but I love his content. Then you have people like H2O Delirious or Omewrecker, which just these crazy, entertaining personalities, right? That push out and typically play the same games, or Omewrecker does at least. And I love that. I mean, that's not me, but I love those YouTubers as well. And then you've got Cage848. He does mainly Let's Plays and stuff, which I haven't done yet. I would try it. Most of my stuff I have right now is more so heavily edited. But I'd like to try it. And after watching him, it gave me a good idea on how to do that.
Sure.
But
what's been the biggest challenge for you to overcome in becoming a new content creator?
Learning how to edit was huge for me. I just touched the software 3 weeks ago, maybe a little less than that. And trying to figure out what software to use, and then learning how to use it and how to make everything meld together
Sure.
smoothly, and how to do it most efficiently, because it's really time consuming. And then figuring out, like, sure, some people can just sit down and play a video game, and upload it on YouTube, and it might work out great, right?
Right.
But I'm trying to think of, how can I make it interesting? How can I make this into a journey or almost a story in a way? So there's a lot of thought that goes into it, and I'm just trying to get better at it as I go on here.
Well, I mean, I whatever it is you're doing, I do think works. I mean, the videos that I watch of yours, they're easy to follow. I mean, they have good flow to them. Your audio is crisp, and I think that all of the metrics that are important to a viewer are there. So I think that you're doing a good job. I am engaged in your videos when I'm watching them. Some content creators, maybe they don't. Maybe they're missing a small aspect of their audio is weak and things like that. My audio was horrible. I'll never forget is some of the first criticism I ever got was actually from someone who's in my Discord, but my audio was just horrible. They were like, "Hey man, your audio is really, really bad. You need to fix this." And I probably played through a mission in a game about 6 or 7 times with multiple different audio levels, multiple different equalizers, just because I wanted the audio to be better. And you know, sometimes it can be hard, and some people may not want to go ahead and take those critiques, but I think as long as you're open to the viewers, because they're the ones that are enjoying the content, right? And as
Right.
long as you can, within reason, within, you know, some boundaries, give them what they're looking for, I think you'll win. And I think
Yeah.
I think you've definitely capitalized on something already. So
No, I appreciate that. You know, every video I make, I'm trying to figure something I can improve on, and I might not know what that is right now, but after someone else watches it, or just like in your case, critiques it, maybe that'll give me a new idea, or you know, just from friends and stuff. What can I do better to make my video more interesting, or just improve the quality in some way, shape, or form?
yeah, yeah, I
Especially
agree
like
with you there,
I don't
100%.
know how long you've been doing YouTube for, but I'm sure you're still looking for ways to improve everything that you're doing. And I don't even know how long it's going to take for me to just get the ball rolling as far as, okay, now I have a schedule set. Now I have, you know, I know how to edit my videos. I'm going to, you know, stream for this long or record for this long and then cut it and make one episode. Or maybe I'm going to record for 3 hours and then make 2 episodes out of it. You know, it's just figuring out what works for me. And right now I'm just in a trial and error phase, just figuring it out, and just rolling with it. But it's been working out for the most part.
What software do you use for your editing?
Yeah, right now I use DaVinci Resolve. I originally was using I think it's called like Hit Film or something, and it just didn't work out for me. It was miserable. But right now DaVinci Resolve has been pretty good to me, and I'm starting to get the hang of it. Still learning, still don't know everything about it for sure. But
If you're looking for someone who does really good tutorials on DR,
yeah,
Casey Ferris does really good work on DaVinci Resolve. I use DaVinci Resolve. I tried using what's that one? Criminy, not Photoshop. Is it Photoshop I'm thinking of?
like Premiere Pro or something. Premiere Pro.
Maybe I'm drawing a blank. But I tried using a couple others. DaVinci Resolve to me is very intuitive for new users. I think it's really easy to use, and yeah,
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
I bought the full version earlier this year. Definitely an investment. I know it's like $260, but I think it's definitely paid off. I think it's just important kind of learning like what bit rate you need to use, you know, and all that stuff. But Casey Ferris does a great job in DaVinci Resolve tutorials, so I use him a lot whenever I'm trying to maybe do a new effect or something like that. So if you haven't seen his channel yet, I can kind of send it to you after the fact. But I love his content, and he's very easy to understand. He's kind of like the splatter cat of DaVinci Resolve, man. Like just
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
that he talks and the way that he engages, you really feel like he's that nice teacher you had in high school that just kind of holds your hand. So
Okay, well that sounds like something I'm gonna have to check out because
yeah,
it's great to watch videos on YouTube about DaVinci Resolve, but when I'm watching, you know, 10 different videos from 10 different people, sometimes it just gets a little frustrating.
yeah,
So that sounds like it would be awesome, and I could use that as a tool for sure.
yeah, definitely. I'll throw you his. I mean, well, I mean, I'll throw you in Discord his YouTube channel. But yeah, Casey Ferris is fantastic.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it.
So, I like your thumbnails. I like how you do your thumbnails too. You know, they're colorful. I definitely feel like they draw the user in. I think thumbnails are something that I always struggled at, and I love looking at other people's thumbnails. The letters pop against the background. I think that's important. So I think you've got a lot going for your channel. What one message would you maybe like to tell your audience? You know, people who maybe don't get to engage with you as often as they like, but maybe they're listening right now. What's something that you'd love to kind of let out?
I mean, this is more directed to just anybody. I guess you could consider it like general advice. Not so much just about like a channel or YouTube, because, you know, I'm just a normal guy, so take this with a grain of salt. It's just simply some food for thought. And then I want to go back and touch on the thumbnail thing. But, you know, there's an ocean of things you wish you could change, and, you know, only a little puddle of things you might actually be able to change. But the most impactful thing that anybody has the ability to change is their way of thinking about a situation or event. that has happened. It's hard to think about something in a different light and from a different angle or a different dynamic, and it's very easy to get tunnel vision. And if you just take a step back and think about that and how you could apply that to your life, I think it could really help you come to terms with things. For example, like a week ago, right? I just got out of the military after 6 years, and it was a very drawn out and difficult choice for me, and one kind of sprinkled with a little bit of guilt. But how could it not be,
Sure.
And I might go back, I don't know, but thinking of it in a different light and putting myself and my family first and just thinking of it in a different way has really helped me, as well as YouTube and building a community. So I still have the rapport with people, and, people you can talk to. It really helps. It does.
Well,
But
first, thank you for your service, and I really can't agree with you more, man. I think that's a great sentiment. I think a lot of people tend to just look at the bad that's happening now and think that it can't get better. They don't necessarily always have perspective, and so I think that if you can get that, it definitely changes the very dynamic and foundation of how you view things once you reach that point.
yeah, no, it's a very valuable thing to have, and it's not easy either. It's not easy. But just to kind of touch back on the thumbnails you'd mentioned before, it was kind of like an art, and it was. I didn't have anyone to help me, so I didn't really know what I was doing. It starts with just putting the starting screen of a game as a thumbnail, and you're like, what am I doing? That looks like everyone else, right? And then it just turns into, let's find a cool moment I can take a screenshot of in the game. And then it's like, well, if I'm going to make a video on a storyline or a journey I had inside of a game, let's make it different from the title,
Yeah.
like my first 48 hours inside of this new game. Or maybe, a lot of people, they'll put the name of the game in the title, right? Which makes sense. Or they'll put the name of the game in the thumbnail. But if someone has never seen the game or doesn't know what it is, it doesn't mean anything to them, right? So I just try to put a little bit about the game in the thumbnail itself to just try to grab attention. And I'll see if it works, That's just kind of my thought process right now. But it's just one more thing I've had to learn by myself. But it's been a blast. It's been fun. I don't know what you use for thumbnails or whatnot. I just use this free little browser software actually called Pixlr. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it works great.
If you're looking for a good editing software that is absolutely completely free, check out GIMP. It's really easy to use. GIMP is kind of like DaVinci Resolve a little bit in just how easy it is to operate. So GIMP is what I use, and I haven't had any problems with it at all. It's been really, really fluid and smooth. But yeah, GIMP, and it's totally free. Like there's no, I know DaVinci Resolve is free, but you can unlock you can actually unlock an unpaid version for it. What's nice about DaVinci Resolve's unlocked version is it does give you access to the cores of your GPU for rendering, so your renders can happen a little bit more quickly. But
okay.
GIMP, I don't think GIMP has a paid for version, like that's not ads or anything like that. It's a completely free software, and there's a ton of really, really good tutorials as well with GIMP.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I haven't heard of it. I'll give it a shot just because why not,
Yeah, definitely recommend it. And I'll throw you another user on YouTube who I think does a pretty good job. He's been my go-to as far as, and I can't remember his name, but he's been my go-to as far as a different lettering things and things like that. So yeah, I like GIMP personally.
Okay, yeah. No, I'll check that out. I haven't heard of it, and I'm assuming it's like a download and stuff, just like DaVinci Resolve or like Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super easy. I don't have any other questions for you, man. Is there anything else on your mind? Anything else about your channel that you want people to know, or anything maybe that you want to circle back on?
Yeah. As far as people reaching out and stuff, I don't have like a Discord or anything like that yet. Maybe in the future. I don't remember if we touched on this already. But people can always reach out through YouTube comments or, my business channel email, Foxy's Den 47 at Gmail. But if anyone wants me to play something, I'll play it. I'm not really stuck on one thing or in one way. But really, that's all I've got, and I appreciate you very much for taking the time out of your day to do this.
Well, I thank you. I mean, you could have been creating content. You took time away from your day to come talk to us about your channel. I mean, believe me, I mean, it's the privilege. It's all on this side of the table for me, being able to talk to the content creators and have an opportunity to showcase the work that they do. There's a lot that goes into creating a YouTube channel. There can be a lot of stress that comes with it too. I took my first vacation in a year and a half since creating my YouTube channel back in September, and I was still stressing the entire time I was gone about, what am I going to do when I get back? What content do I have in reserve? And sometimes you can feel like content runs dry, and then you're stressing, I'm going to lose subscribers, and at the end of the day, it has to be for you. The subscribers are a great perk, but you have to be willing to know that subscribers are going to come and go. You can't take it personally. And you just, every subscriber that I've lost has just made me want to drive harder on what did they maybe not like about what I put out. I watched the videos that circulate around the time where the subscribers lost, and I will just tear them apart and say, what can I do better? I want to be the best. I want to keep bringing Foxxy on the channel. I want to keep bringing Get Dangerous on the channel. I want to keep supporting all of these channels and showing everybody that that we're the new generation. So I can't thank you enough for taking the time to come talk to us, show everybody a little bit about your channel, talk about your channel, because this is what we want to hear. We want to hear who you are, and I think you've done a great job of representing yourself. So thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, and that was very well said. I couldn't have put it better myself. And we're on the same team here. We're just trying to help each other out and get through this.
Yeah.
But thank you again very much.
Beautiful. Well, hopefully there are some games that you and I can play in the future. I know you're covering Endless Dungeon. I love Endless Dungeon. I'd love to kind of do a collab with you here, maybe in the next week or next couple of days or something like that.
We'll work out those details. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Everybody, Foxxy's Den. We'll drop his we'll drop his details here in the description. We'll kind of start the channel. We'll start the video out with his details. We're going to end with his details. Foxxy, once again, thanks for joining us today, man.
Absolutely. Take care.
Yeah, you have a good one. Nick out.